In a heated exchange, sports commentator Dan Patrick recently lost his cool on Sheryl Swoopes after she expressed criticism toward Caitlin Clark, the rising star of women's college basketball. The interaction became a focal point of discussion in the sports community as Patrick defended Clark's talent and impact on the game, while Swoopes, a legendary figure in women's basketball, voiced her concerns. The clash between these two prominent figures highlights the growing tension and differing opinions surrounding Clark's meteoric rise in the sport.
Caitlin Clark now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA, as she's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go. Now, this is happening exactly how I scripted it. I told you this is going. They loaded up the schedule, front-loaded Caitlin Clark on a bad team, the worst team because they drafted her, number one. They were going to load up against better competition, and she played an entire college basketball season, and she didn't play well. And I said at the time she didn't deserve to be on the Olympic team. And at the time I felt that. But she got rest. The schedule, not as demanding, and now you're seeing Caitlin Clark. And for everybody who talked about, she's just a shooter, she's already set the all-time rookie assist record. For somebody who's the greatest scorer in college basketball history, and she is an incredible... See, I think that was lost on a lot of people. Her ability to be able to find the open person, it's something that you're born with. And if you're one of her teammates and she's coming in, and I said at the time, she will try to ingratiate herself as a teammate by passing first instead of shooting first. And that's exactly what's happened. And she's played incredibly well. They've played incredibly well. And I know we want to make this the Rookie of the Year debate.
Dan Patrick, a seasoned sports commentator known for his measured and insightful takes, found himself in an unexpected and uncharacteristic moment of frustration. The catalyst for this was a conversation with Sheryl Swoopes, a basketball legend in her own right, about Caitlin Clark, one of the most exciting and talked-about players in women's college basketball today. Dan Patrick has been a staple in sports broadcasting for decades, bringing a blend of wit, knowledge, and respect for the game to his audience. He has interviewed countless athletes, coaches, and analysts, always with a professional demeanor. Patrick's deep appreciation for sports, coupled with his ability to connect with listeners, has made him a beloved figure in sports media. His shows often strike a balance between serious sports analysis and light-hearted banter, making him a trusted voice in the sports community. On the other hand, Sheryl Swoopes is no stranger to the limelight. As one of the pioneers of the WNBA and a three-time Olympic gold medalist, Swoopes' impact on women's basketball is undeniable. Her legacy is built on her remarkable skills on the court and her trailblazing role in advancing women's sports. Swoopes has been vocal about the challenges and triumphs of women athletes, often advocating for greater recognition and respect for their achievements. Caitlin Clark, the subject of their heated discussion, is a name that has become synonymous with excitement in women's college basketball. Her ability to score from anywhere on the court, combined with her court vision and competitive spirit, has drawn comparisons to some of the greatest players in the history of the sport. Clark's rise has been meteoric, captivating fans and analysts alike, and she has quickly become the face of her team and a prominent figure in the NCAA. Clark's style of play is electrifying, and her confidence on the court is palpable. She plays with a swagger that endears her to fans, but sometimes rubs opponents and critics the wrong way. Her performances have not only led to personal accolades, but have also thrust her team into the national spotlight. The media, including Dan Patrick, has been quick to praise her talents, often highlighting her as the future of women's basketball. The discussion that sparked the controversy began innocuously enough. Swoopes was invited onto Patrick's show to talk about the current state of women's basketball, a subject she is deeply passionate about. The conversation naturally shifted to Caitlin Clark, given her prominence in recent sports headlines. Patrick, like many others, had been effusive in his praise for Clark, noting her potential to become one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. However, Swoopes offered a more critical perspective. While she acknowledged Clark's talent, she expressed concerns about the overwhelming media attention the young star was receiving.
How much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Like, you should be killing them. Because you've been doing it a lot longer than they have. You're going to break a record. To me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. If Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. Yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be.
Swoopes argued that such focus could place undue pressure on Clark, potentially stunting her growth as a player. She also pointed out that other talented players in women's college basketball were not receiving the same level of attention, which she felt was unfair. Swoopes' critique was not entirely unfounded. The media often has a tendency to latch onto a single narrative or player, sometimes at the expense of others who are equally deserving of recognition. In the case of Caitlin Clark, her ability to generate headlines and draw viewers has made her a media darling. But this comes with the risk of overshadowing other deserving athletes. However, it was when Swoopes questioned whether Clark's style of play was conducive to long-term success that the conversation took a sharp turn. She suggested that Clark's aggressive scoring mentality, while impressive, might not translate well in the professional game, where the competition is fiercer and the defenses are tougher. Swoopes' remarks were seen by some as a challenge to the narrative that Clark was an unstoppable force, destined for greatness. Dan Patrick, usually composed, appeared visibly taken aback by Swoopes' comment. Have you ever wondered what a day in the life of a celebrity is like? Perhaps you have imagined being in their shoes and living out their lives of luxury and relaxation. But what if I told you that it's not as it seems on the surface? A glimpse into the private life of American professional basketball player Caitlin Clark has been revealed, exposing the secret of the young woman's success and the dark sides that line it behind the scenes. From the moment the sun rises to the time it sets, the daily life of the star athlete is not what anyone would have expected. Off the court, what is Caitlin Clark really like in real life? What kind of life does she live beyond the spotlight? Step onto the court with Caitlin Clark, the trailblazing basketball sensation, as we delve into a day in her extraordinary life and the secrets that propelled her to the forefront of the women's game. The perfect strikes and swiftness of Caitlin Clark on the basketball court have for long been a mystery to many and a record no other has yet beat. Though only 22 years old, for most of her life, she has moved mountains in the sports and is currently known as the most decorated player of all time in the history of women's basketball. Clark is also famous for bringing fame to the sport through her mind-blowing maneuvers on the court and a charismatic character that has garnered her own fandom. Since her college career, she has helped popularize women's basketball, a trend named the Caitlin Clark effect. That's not even half of it. The American professional basketball player plays for the Indiana Fever of the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, played college basketball for the Iowa Hawkeyes, is regarded as one of the greatest collegiate players of all time, is the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer, and was a two-time National Player of the Year with the Hawkeyes. Her skills seem otherworldly to many, and there are curious questions eager to know about how she is so extraordinary and ethereal in court. The least bizarre question asks how she does it all, while the outlandish exaggerate she mustn't be human. The world wants to know every single detail about the basketball star, down to the details of her everyday life. And to be fair, her daily life routine does seem a little bit more unusual than normal. Like any other professional athlete, on a typical day, Caitlin Clark's day is filled to the brim with basketball games and rigorous training sessions. Remaining at the top in such a tough sport does require a lot of sacrifices and demanding schedules. Her early mornings start with a cup of coffee, yoga, and a quick workout session to maintain her elite physical condition, which includes hitting the gym for a solo shoot-around session, focusing on her technique, working on her jump shot, ball handling, and footwork. It's definitely not a walk in the park doing this every day, but Clark has proven time and time again that she's up for the challenge. Last summer, a clip of Clark training in the off-season went viral. Her regimen included 300 shots, 100 three-pointers, 100 free throws, and 100 from mid-range. The University of Iowa basketball star has made one logo shot after another, and her coach and other fitness experts claim it's all in the physical and mental training. So what is the big secret behind her exceptional talent? How does she do it? To simply put it, Caitlin Clark trains aggressively and for endurance. Her muscles must be able to withstand quick bursts of speed and agility and have the force needed to propel her for the perfect shots for the entirety of a game without getting fatigued. Just the thought of all that is mentally exhausting for a normal person, but there is more. She also has to train her mental resilience to maintain that level of play without losing confidence or focus when things aren't going smoothly. Mostly tailored by her team's coaches and fitness experts, these skills are crucial for making a durable athlete. To achieve as much as she has so far, Caitlin Clark sticks to a combination of conditioning, aerobic work, and plyometrics, a group of exercises that use rapid movements to build muscle power. Squats and deadlifts, the use of bench presses to improve core strength, and drills known as intervals or tempo runs to enhance cardiovascular health are included in this routine too. These workout sessions are not just for athletes to win medals in games, but are put in place to ensure their overall well-being. This is important as partaking in these games causes overexertion that can badly stress and wear out the body. Usually, months before any game, this training gets even more serious for Clark and her teammates. This time doesn't just include physical routine sessions for Clark, but involves reviewing game footages, studying her opponents, and visualizing her performance on the court. For an ordinary day, however, Clark's workout is quick and followed by a wash-up that precedes a nutritious breakfast. Most would think that such a professional athlete would need to stick to strict diet guidelines, chomping on bland vegetables and untasty healthy foods. But you would be surprised to find out that the player has a mind of her own. During ESPN's Full Court Press documentary that was released earlier this month, everyone had a small taste of what Clark's old life was like. In a recent interview with Hannah Beer, the producer of the documentary, she talked about spending time with the star basketball player and how it was for her to see Clark in her normal habitat. Beer said she bought Clark breakfast, and something stood out every time. Caitlin always ordered the same thing to start her day. Hannah Beer and Caitlin Clark would go to a fast food restaurant every day, and the former Z star would order a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. But that was not it. She would request an iced macchiato with vanilla sweet cream cold foam from Starbucks. You would think an athlete of Caitlin Clark's caliber would not eat specific meals with calories all over the place and tons of sugar each day. But then again, it is needed to replenish the energy she burns steadily on the court. Moreover, she makes sure to keep the nutrients at a balance by also engaging in healthy food choices, as occasionally seen in the snapshots of her Instagram feed. At times when Clark isn't caught up with games, her normal day includes navigating work meetings, running errands, taking breaks to catch up with friends, and enjoying some downtime with her beloved pets. Other times, she is either spending time with her family or focusing on her own personal development. It is no news that the WNBA sensation has a knack for business. Her dedication to a balanced lifestyle is evident in every post on her Instagram story, but sometimes it gets spontaneous. On a busy day, Clark attends media obligations, including interviews and photo shoots. Stepping outside also means getting stormed by fans and haters alike, endless signing of autographs, and a tired smile on her face as she makes quick poses with fans. As one of the most exciting young players in the WNBA, she's in high demand, and her schedule reflects that. Whether it's getting haunted by a barrage of media reporters and fans, retiring back home from a hangout, staying in bed throughout the day, or after a fiery game, at the end of the day, Caitlin Clark is no superhuman, and like everyone else, craves a sumptuous dinner and refreshing rest. Following a typical college basketball game, which for Caitlin Clark means scoring a huge 28.4-point average over her career, leading all players on both sides and amassing about 1/3 of the average 90 points per game total, the superstar gets quite famished. When asked about her favorite thing to eat after a game while she was working to recover her energy, Clark didn't hesitate to name 3 of her most reliable choices: chicken parm, pasta, and a big glass of chocolate milk, she told the Des Moines Register. Clark seems to get a lot out of an after-game sugar infusion too. While playing for Iowa, she looked forward to a serving of warm chocolate chip cookies after a well-contested match. Even better, these had been baked at home and brought to the game by her mother, for both Clark and her teammates to enjoy. While the life of the star is busy and lined with a path to success, she is still a mindful young woman who finds happiness in the simple things. When night comes, with everything on her schedule completed for the day, Clark loves to unwind with a good book and a relaxing bubble bath before the next day's workload arrives. If you are still very much curious that you also want to know what the athlete dreams about, then you will be disappointed, because this is where it ends for now. What aspect of Caitlin Clark's daily life intrigued you the most? Let us know by commenting. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channels. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it. Caitlin Clark's millionaire lifestyle includes living in a luxury home, driving expensive cars, and enjoying designer clothes. She often takes lavish vacations, attends exclusive events, and hosts high-profile gatherings, reflecting her success and wealth.
I'm wearing Armani dress, Versace shoes, Versace bag, Tiffany bracelets, and Tiffany necklace, Cartier earrings.
Here's a moment when Caitlin Clark is seen wearing high-end brands, demonstrating her refined taste and preference for luxury fashion.
I went with Prada. I think Prada's like very me, very like, I don't know, I'm a pretty simple girl, but Prada's never dressed a WNBA player or WNBA player for the draft, so it's very fun. Got the simple white and then sparkly on the inside. But yeah, really fun. Got the bag, got the slick shoes, so yeah.
Caitlin Clark has been making history both on and off the court.
Caitlin Clark is making history both on and off the court. The 22-year-old athlete stepped out in a monochromatic Prada set for the WNBA draft, making her the first athlete the Italian luxury fashion house has dressed, male or female, for the NBA or WNBA draft.
Great day for some golf. I never golf this early in the morning.
She grew up in Des Moines, where she spent countless hours playing golf and honing her skills on the local courses.
I grew up in Des Moines and I played there a ton. And honestly, I try to get back there as much as I can to play with my family. My dad plays a lot, my older brother plays a lot. So, you know, it's super fun. Today we're here, Finkbine Golf Course, 2v2 scramble, me and Spence versus Will and Kate. Me and Spence obviously gonna win, so here we go. We're very competitive people. We love to compete, whether it's on the basketball court or if it's out here. I think it just adds a fun element to golf.
People who know Caitlin often say that she is incredibly goofy and always making jokes, bringing a lighthearted vibe to any situation.
They would probably just say I'm like super goofy. Like I just make like, I don't know, jokes all the time. And I don't think people always understand that. Like when I'm on the court, like I'm competitive, I'm like passionate.
When she's off the court, Caitlin understands that life is about more than just basketball.
But like when I'm off the court, like I understand like there's more to life than just basketball, and you like get that. Like there's more to life than wrestling. Like just understanding that and enjoying every single day. And like, as you know, college goes fast. Like it can't be all serious all the time, so.
Caitlin doesn't collect shoes, but she still owns a lot of them.
I don't collect. I have a lot of shoes. I have a lot of like kind of like trendy shoes, like Nike shoes. My mom gets mad when I buy new pairs, but like, here's the thing. My mom loves shoes too, so I probably get it from her.
Yeah, you do.
She says the shoes tie the outfit together. So I'm like, whenever she's like, Caitlin, you have to stop buying shoes. I'm like, Mom, you have no room to talk. And then she just laughs. But yeah, honestly, like we get a lot of shoes from Iowa, basketball and tennis shoes. So like, I don't need to buy shoes, but you know, everybody needs some good pairs of shoes.
What kind of shoes does Caitlin wear for basketball?
When you pick your shoe for basketball, do you go the Kobe's? Do you go the Jordans? What is your shoe?
Recently, KD's.
Okay.
His latest one, those were very comfortable. It's probably my favorite. They're almost like a midsole one, so they weren't low, but they weren't high. So like kind of protected your ankle a little more. I had quite a few pairs of those this year.
It was really fun. I had a really good time. I thought I did a little better on the front nine. Wasn't as tired. Kind of got really tired on the back nine, but it was really fun. I appreciate all the Hawkeye fans that were out there today. A lot of people that support the Hawks, support women's basketball, so that was super cool to see. But just enjoying it because it's different for me. This is a little out of my comfort zone.
It's particularly special for Caitlin to face off against the Ryder Cup captain in a golf match, as it presents a unique opportunity to compete against a prominent figure in the sport.
So just tried to have fun with it, and obviously when you get to golf against, you know, the Ryder Cup captain, not many people get that opportunity, so it's pretty special.
What do you do outside of basketball?
Oh, well, during basketball season, I don't have a ton of time, but my favorite like spring, summer activity is golf. Yeah, I love to go play.
I'm sure you're not competitive at all.
No, I'm not competitive at all. I obviously just like to do it because it's fun, and why else would I do it? I just love to go out there. If I have a bad hit, I don't care at all. But no, I'm super competitive, and honestly, we have a couple other girls on the team that like to play, a couple coaches that like to play, managers, so it gets competitive. It's usually not like us just all going out there and shooting like our own score. Like it's like 2v2, like best ball. Like it's obviously going to be competitive in some way. So I would say that's like my favorite activity when I'm not in basketball season. I remember getting my first set of golf clubs for one of my birthdays when I was really young. My dad got it for me. It was an all pink bag, all pink clubs, and my dad would always take me when we were younger. I probably started playing golf when I was like 3rd or 4th grade. I mean, I was terrible. I couldn't hit it off the ground, but I loved doing anything that was competitive. So even though I was bad, I just kept really working hard at it.
What time's the alarm normally set for Caitlin Clark's world?
Well, during school, I'd probably get up like 8:30 every day. Depending on when I had class, I had 8 a.m.s twice a week. But other than that, probably probably 8:30. But now that I'm home and I have nothing, I've been sleeping until like 9:30 every day. I feel like
Embrace it while you can.
I feel like a bum when I get out of bed. I'm like, I wasted half the day, Mom. Why didn't you wake me up?
No, that's your body telling you need it. Trust me.
It's been good.
What is your favorite season and why?
Ooh, I'd go fall just because, I love summer and I love winter, but just the two combined. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Football, basketball is just starting up again. It's my favorite. Outside is just so beautiful. It's definitely my favorite.
Caitlin usually replies to her family's texts as quickly as possible, making sure to stay connected and maintain strong relationships despite her busy schedule.
I usually just text my family back as fast as I can, but other than that, I usually am off my phone for quite a bit after the game because we have media and stuff like that, but I'm usually not in a rush to respond to people and stuff.
You guys are all going to dinner as a team. Who are you waiting on the longest to get ready?
Honestly, Monica. She's kind of slow sometimes. Yeah.
If you had a hypothetical kid, who would you not let babysit that kid?
Hannah Stolke, for sure. A lot of people probably said me, though, but I'm really good with kids. We have a lot of babies in the program. Coach Abby just had a baby, our strength coach did. And I love being around them. I take care of them, but I'm going Hannah Stolke.
Why is that?
Just kind of all over the place. Freshman, hasn't really figured it out yet. Probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. But with a kid, I don't know. I don't know.
Her satin miniskirt and jacket, bedazzled two-top, and black pumps were well received by many, including Caitlin's boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey. Responding to a fan on X when asked his reaction to Caitlin's slam dunk fit, Connor dropped 3 emojis, including the jaw-dropping and drooling face. Caitlin responded a simple teary-eyed emoji. The college basketball it girl was the #1 draft pick and was picked up by the Indiana Fever.
When she was younger, she was terrified of cats, often feeling uneasy around them and avoiding them whenever possible.
When I was younger, I was terrified of cats. I can deal with them a little now.
A little.
I don't really love them anymore, but I do not like cats.
Why?
What freaks you out about them?
There was this really mean one on my street growing up. So its name was Jinx, and it was black with green eyes, and I just did not like that thing. So to my neighbors, if you hear this, I'm sorry. Jinx just wasn't my favorite.
Jinx went missing. We have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
So you tell all the roommates, no cats allowed, right?
Heck no. My roommate, I'm roommates with Kylie, who's on our team too.
Yeah.
She would never get a cat. I think she knows I don't like cats. I'm a huge dog person.
Are you a dog person?
Huge dog person. We have a golden retriever at home.
Honestly, I watch a lot of golf. I think over the years, definitely Jordan Spieth's probably my favorite. Justin Thomas. On the girls' side, I like Millie Korda. She's really good. That's weird. It says 180 for a second, and it goes to 144. If I had to pick a foursome for my team, I'd go Kate, myself. Then I'd go probably Catherine Reynolds. She golfs. She's our director of basketball operations. And then I would probably go Coach Raina because she's pretty good at golf and she's super funny. So she'd be good entertainment on the course.
A lot of people, they now want cars from you. Will you be able to deliver?
Cars, because my Buick deal?
Yeah.
I don't know about cars. I was joking with one of our managers. I'm like, hey, I'm going to get you a minivan. I think you'd be really cute driving a minivan, but no, I wish I got a car. I got them all headphones, though, for my Bose deal, which was fun. They all love those. So we're all going to have matching headphones going to this tournament.
What shoe have you not rocked that you want to rock? You come back in one game, in the locker room, you can crush any meal. What are you picking?
Chicken parm, pasta, and a big glass of chocolate milk.
Here's a list of the shows and movies Caitlin Clark watches on Netflix.
All right, your Netflix queues up. What are we watching?
Okay, so season 4 of You just came out. Outer Banks is about to come out, but also the new show about the PGA Tour is about to come out, where they were behind the scenes of the PGA Tour all of last year. So I'm super excited about that one on Netflix.
Outer Banks, isn't that like a romance?
Yes, it's a cheesy high school show basically, but that's kind of what I like.
Yeah, well, we had Dawson's Creek. Did you ever hear that one?
I don't know if I've ever seen that. But my favorite show of all time is One Tree Hill.
Oh, okay,
Did you
same
watch
thing.
That? Yeah, basketball. You got the love, romance, high school drama. I remember that was my favorite show.
Love watching Netflix when I have downtime or just chilling. When I have time, cooking meals at home or baking. I grew up with my mom, who's a super good cook, so I learned some things from her.
Music.
Okay.
What are you bumping to when you're warming up?
Okay, this is probably gonna be surprising to a lot of people, but I go more calm music when I'm warming up because I'm already so amped and juiced for the game that I don't need to keep adding to it. So I'm going more calm music, country music is usually what I pick. It's not super slow. It's not like I'm trying to go to sleep, but it's like, you know, you're not getting more amped than you already are.
Is there a food you have to like stay away from?
Honestly, not really. I'm not a very picky person. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like anything like super fancy. Like I kind of just like the basics, but I don't know. I'm not picky really. I'll eat basically anything.
We're not going to make it here unless you come and help us.
I know the mindset of the players that I have the opportunity and honor to coach, and they want to win. Fun is winning.
Appreciate everything that they've done, and for them to have this moment too and be a part of it, like it's just super cool.
Sheryl Miller has 3 Indiana Fever teams under her belt.
So we're here at the WNBA All-Star Game. She's the head coach of Team WNBA. All right, you got 3 Fever players on your team. Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston. You've been able to watch these guys from afar.
Yeah.
What's your perspective been of how they've been trending and just them individually as well?
I will say one thing. I did not count on their basketball IQ being that high. I knew it was high, obviously, because they play at this level.
Indiana has a promising future ahead, with lots of potential for success.
But it's one thing to know knowledge, it's another thing to talk about and speak and then put it into pieces and places. But it was a great collaboration with all the players, but Indiana has a very, very bright future.
For being how young they are, too.
Basketball IQ isn't just about knowing the game. It's about learning and improving quickly.
That basketball IQ speaks volumes.
It not only speaks volumes, it's one thing to be young and they're learning how to play the game, and they're learning about their mistakes and how to correct them faster. And so they're making those game, in-game and out-of-game adjustments.
Sheryl is confident that they will mature and improve as they continue playing.
The only thing I see that's going to happen the older they get is how to stop the run sometimes and how to change, the momentum during games. But this is not a team people want to play, because not only are they getting better, but they're confident and they show no fear. They're fearless.
Yeah, we love that. That's probably what contributed to them having such a successful end to that first half.
From the players' perspective, it's going to be a fiercely competitive game between the WNBA and the USA team.
All right, now we're going to transition to tomorrow, Team USA. All right, it's not just your regular year, it's your Olympic year. The intensity is high. That's what we heard from the players earlier. What's your mindset going in?
My mindset is their mindset. So it's all fun and games until the ball is tossed up. And then it's on, and these guys are competitors at both ends, and we're just going to go out there and give it a great show.
Here's Caitlin's perspective on Sheryl Miller.
What's a Sheryl Miller practice like?
Gosh, I love Sheryl. I love her brother too. He's awesome, obviously, a Pacer too. We were in a little commercial together, so I love their family. They're just awesome people. And one of the best that's ever played the game. So I've known Sheryl for a little while now. I think her energy, that's what I love about her. Like, it's just contagious, and it's fun. Like, I called her coach and she was like, I don't know about that yet. You'll have to see how I do during the game. So, no, but it's super fun. And then obviously Annie Myers drives out too. Getting to be around those two people that have done so much for the game.
It means a lot to Caitlin to have the opportunity to be coached by Sheryl Miller.
For me, it's super special. Like, there's still two people that I really look up to and idolize and appreciate everything that they've done, and for them to have this moment too and be a part of it, like, it's just super cool.
Here's Christy Side's perspective on 3 Indiana Fever players being coached by Sheryl Miller.
The 3 of your players, I mean, the talk of the weekend has been where your organization is trending, where these players, their chemistry is trending. They're here, they put on a show, it should be fun tonight. What's that mean to you as a coach?
Yeah, just what you said, just the future of the Fever, it's incredible. I mean, to have these 3 here, and then what we have that are at home. It's just some unbelievable young talent, and that's just fun for the future.
Especially so young, to get this experience with other great players in the WNBA.
Being around veterans helps them gain valuable experience.
For sure, to be around some of these vets and just to hear their experiences and give them some advice on like what it took, and to be on these teams that are the top teams in our league. So it's just good for them to be around these guys and just get that good advice.
As the start of your break, why did you feel it was so important to be here and support them?
Oh gosh, I mean, these 3 guys, playing in this game, I mean, wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I missed Kelsey last night in the skills challenge. We had a event last night, a funeral yesterday in Indy that I had to be at. But glad she was able to, pick it up for Erica Wheeler, who couldn't be here, and that was just an exciting. Glad she got to do that and represent the people.
Seems like the growing chemistry of Caitlin and Aaliyah might be an example of what's to come for everything else, for everybody on that roster with this upcoming break. How much have you seen the team chemistry begin to transform to where you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes with, the wins and just, early, some of the same actions that were happening before. We just weren't on the same page. It takes time to build that chemistry on the court. And so now you've had games and you've had practice. And so now that they've had that opportunity, you're seeing what they're capable of doing. And then it's just surface level right now.
You've had a couple days to decompress after this first 26 games of the season. Just what's your biggest takeaway from the first 26?
It's pretty incredible, Chloe. Just the games that we played with the fans in the stands. I mean, just playing in front of sold out arenas every night, even in the preseason, even in our games early, to play in front of fans like that, it's just so awesome that these players are getting that opportunity.
How does Sheryl Miller approach tonight's game?
How do you approach tonight's game in the sense of it's an all-star game, but obviously this game means a lot for Team USA to get ready for the Olympics, as you know. And I'm sure obviously you want to win, as you mentioned yesterday, but it's not just a typical all-star game you've seen in years past.
It really wasn't, as we were talking about yesterday. And then watching the men today against Sudan, it got real, like real. So with that being said, I know the mindset of the players that I have the opportunity and honor to coach, and they want to win. Fun is winning. And that's the general consensus. So we're going to put the best product out there. I certainly want to get everybody a great look. And I think that's only fair because they deserve that. And then after that, they basically dictate it. If they want to go for the juggler, they'll go for the juggler. And that means for some of the players sacrificing their minutes. The teams that I've coached, period, compared to this team?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, these are the greatest players in the world. And when you have the greatest players in practice, and I'm coming in fresh and hot and new, and the game is so different than when I coached from the college level, and even from when I coached the Mercury. They are so invested in the game and so knowledgeable. Their basketball IQs are off the charts, and they're basically going to be coaching themselves. So that's the biggest difference. And again, like I said yesterday, it's the collaboration amongst all of them, each other, and just working it out and what they want to do.
How cool is it to coach Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark as they make their all-star debuts, and how will you continue to teach them the lessons in the game?
Here's the most significant lesson Sheryl Miller has given to Caitlin Clark.
I think the biggest lesson that I can share with them is to stand back and be of service in the best way I can. I speak when I'm spoken to. I try to give them the best answers that I can and let them be themselves. And again, coaching is so it's easy for me now because I understand what the players need and looking ahead. It's not just what they're doing on the court, it's off the court. I understand that for young players, it's important for them to establish, and I hope I'm answering your question, their brand. But basketball and brand, it's beyond that. And I don't want them to lose sight of what's really, truly important, and that's the love of the game and how and why they started playing with this round thing and how that made them feel. I never want them to lose sight of that. And I hope I answered your question.
Miller offers her insights on the all-star team dynamics.
What's your perspective been of how they've been trending and just them individually as well?
I will say one thing. I did not count on their basketball IQ being that high. I knew it was high, obviously, because they play at this level.
She emphasizes the importance of collaboration for success.
But it's one thing to know knowledge, it's another thing to talk about and speak and then put it into pieces and places. But it was a great collaboration with all the players.
Sheryl believes Indiana's future in women's basketball is very bright.
But Indiana has a very, very bright future.
For being how young they are, too, that basketball IQ speaks volumes.
It not only speaks volumes, it's one thing to be young, and they're learning how to play the game, and they're learning about their mistakes and how to correct them faster.
Rookies must master stopping the run and shifting game momentum.
And so they're making those game, in-game and out-of-game adjustments. The only thing I see that's going to happen the older they get is how to stop the run sometimes and how to change, the momentum during games.
The players are improving, showing confidence and fearlessness.
This is not a team people want to play because not only are they getting better, but they're confident and they show no fear. They're fearless.
It's all fun until the ball is tossed up. Then it's game time.
My mindset is their mindset. So it's all fun and games until the ball is tossed up. And then it's on. And these guys are competitors at both ends. And we're just going to go out there and give it a great show.
This wave of momentum reflects the journey of women's basketball.
So do you think that with your team this year is in the same position to do that globally for the WNBA brand?
I mean, I think it's been, it's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling, it has been sort of this kind of journey for women's basketball to get the attention that it is, getting at this point. So I think we mirror what's happening, obviously in the WNBA. And, I think hopefully this team can uphold, sort of the culture and the level of success and compete. But I don't necessarily know that this team is going to be, the team that changes things. I think we're continuing to, be on that upward trajectory, and this team has absolutely been a part of that.
Hey, Coach, what does it tell you about the overall talent right now in women's basketball that, you've got the best team chosen in the world to play the Olympics, and then you just got beaten by a group of people in the NBA who seem to be just as talented?
In the NBA, it felt like we were guarding somebody from the NBA tonight, but I think we know this. Everybody in this room, you're here because you've been watching women's basketball. I assume you're not new to it, right? So the depth, we've said this for years, the depth of talent